Hello and welcome to Daily Balance. Today we're talking about beating the odds. Today we're going to focus on women who have beaten overwhelming odds in their own lives. Later on the program, we'll talk to former Mrs. Colorado and Mrs. North Carolina, Victoria Gillowitz. Just like Victoria, my first guest has a story that is full of perseverance, determination, and triumph. Though the obstacles she faced were very discouraging, she did not let these things get in her way. She's an author, an artist, a poet, a vocalist, a wife, and a mother. She's also the CEO of Tawana Williams Outreach. Wow, an amazing woman is joining us right now. So please welcome our very special guest, Tawana Williams. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Tawana, you know what? All of my guests here, they have the opportunity to see you. But my viewing audience, they're wondering, what have you actually done to overcome and persevere and beat the odds? As you see, Tawana Williams, who's joining us, she's unarmed, but she's dangerous.
Yes.
And she's actually an author of a book called Unarmed, but Dangerous.
Thank you, Kim.
Tawana, it's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
And you know what? You have a no excuse in life motto.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, I was born to a mother that told me there was nothing that I could not do. And I had a Grandma Rogers that said, you must not have needed arms because God didn't give them to you. She said, don't live your life with excuses. You know, I wasn't allowed to make excuses in my household. I had chores like my sisters. I had to clean the bathroom, wash the dishes. You know, my mom would clean the counter and put me on the countertop, and I'd wash dishes with my feet. So there was no room in my household for me to make excuses for the fact that I didn't have arms. It wasn't accepted.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Even though all the odds were stacked against you, how did you get along in life? How did you make it?
Well, you know, I did what I had to do.
Right.
You know, I didn't let my disability stop me from living a full life. You know, I was trained as a baby to use my feet like you use your hands, and I did it. I made things happen for myself. I wouldn't let myself off the hook, and I didn't.
And you're a mother as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. My daughter, April, is almost 23 years old.
Well, first of all, you look mighty good, so
Well,
I need to rub off so I can look this good when I get that mature. You look awesome.
Thank you.
And how was that being a mother and raising a child, a daughter?
You know, motherhood for me surely didn't come with instructions. So I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that I had to do it. Because first of all, the doctors told my mom that I would not live to be 2 weeks old. I'm 45. They told my mom that I would never walk. I've been walking since the age of 2. Then they told her I'd never have children. And as I said, my daughter April, she's almost 23 years old. And so when God allowed that miracle to be placed in my life, I had no other choice. I had to do it. I figured it out. You know, I didn't know anybody like myself that I could mimic or mime. You know, I could see them change the baby's diaper with their feet like myself. So I just had to figure it out, Kim. I had no other choice, but I did it.
You did it. You do it well. You do it well. Awesome. Did you ever ask yourself or even ask God why?
Absolutely.
Why me?
Absolutely. There were many instances where I felt low, where I felt that God forgot about me. And I would ask the question, why me? And then, you know, something just spoke to my spirit on the inside. And it just said that, you know, your sisters would not have been able to take what you've taken. Your sisters would not have been able to go through what you've gone through and come out like you've come out. Because I beat the odds. I'm here. I'm here.
You're here. You're making me clap like I'm in the audience. That's amazing.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I'm just inspired by what you've been through and how you've become the great woman that you are. And then you actually, I have to share this with you guys because you all haven't seen this yet, but how we would normally write with our hands, she actually draws portraits with her toes.
That's right.
With her feet.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this is a picture of Les Brown here. And she actually drew this portrait herself. For all of you that are watching at home, this is a portrait of Les Brown that Tawana Williams drew with her toes. So we don't have any excuses that we can ever make. And this is a picture of our president-elect, Barack Obama.
Yes.
And she drew this picture as well. Yes. With her toes. You are an amazing woman.
You know,
amazing.
I just do what I have to do, Kim. I make things happen for myself. I won't settle for second best when the best is still available. You know, I will not do it. I will not do it.
You made me scream, okay?
I will not do it, you know. So many things have happened to me in my life, you know. First of all, I've overcome the adversity of being born without arms.
You have.
Then, during a home invasion years ago, I was raped, gang raped, multiple times. Then, my stepfather raped me. Then, I was addicted to crack cocaine for 10 years. I've experienced abortion and motherhood. So I know that I'm unarmed but dangerous. I know nobody could have done what God had placed in me to do. People, you know, most people would have given up after going through what I've gone through. But I'm still here. I'm still standing. Why? Because I was born to win. I know that now. I was born to win.
Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? I'm going to need some tissue for sure.
It's all right,
because
Kim.
this is amazing.
It's
You are truly an inspiration. When people make so many excuses
They do.
in today's generation, in today's society, people are always saying what they can't do.
Yeah.
And look what you've done.
Yeah.
What was your turning point? What was your turning point?
It wasn't easy.
All of those things have happened in your life, and you are still standing. Wonderful, a wonderful example. What would you say is the turning point for you?
My turning point was going through so much, and my drug addiction, it almost broke my husband Toby's heart.
And her husband is here with us today, Toby. Let's give him a hand as well. Toby, it's a pleasure to have you.
I almost broke
need
his
some
heart.
tissue too.
I almost broke Toby's heart. I almost lost the love of my life, the only man that ever loved me unconditionally. I almost lost him because of my addiction to crack cocaine. And in August of 1991, Kim, after struggling with all of the things that I had to overcome, I cried out to a God that I did not know. And I said, God, if you're real, you got to help me. I said, I can't do it anymore and I can't take it anymore. I said, if you're real, either kill me in my sleep or deliver me from this lifestyle that I'm living. Take this crack cocaine from me. And the next morning that I opened my eyes, it was done. It was over.
Your whole
it
life
was gone.
changed.
It was changed.
Wow, wow, wow.
It was over. It was like a metamorphosis. It's like I was dreaming. I had been changed instantly. It was powerful.
That's amazing. Amazing. Well, I'm going to get some tissue out here shortly, but I'm telling you what, that was incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you, Kim.
And you're such an inspiration to so many people here today.
Thank you.
You're an awesome woman.
Thank you.
We see an amazing woman before us today, and you told us what your turning point was. But after you changed your life, you said, God made me for the world to see. What did you mean by that?
You know, what I meant by that comment was that I can't think of any other reason why God would create me this way. You know, I'm only 4'5". I don't have arms. And, you know, the only other reason that I can think of that God would allow me to be this way, Kim, is that so the world could see how most of us live a defeated life. You know, God created me this way for you, for each and every one of you to see how defeated most of us live when we don't have to. Because everything we need, we were given when we were born. You know, we were given the capacity to do whatever it is that we want to do, that we need to do. And so that's what I meant by that statement.
Wonderful, wonderful. Again, we have Tawana Williams here, and she's the author of Unarmed but Dangerous. Unarmed but Dangerous. What is your website?
www.tawanawilliams.com.
www.tawanawilliams.com. Don't go away. Daily Balance will be right back.
Call the number on your screen to order your copy of Tawana Williams' book, Unarmed but Dangerous, for only $24.95, plus shipping and handling. Read Tawana's compelling story of perseverance, determination, and triumph. You'll be inspired to tackle the obstacles in your own life after reading this powerful and uplifting message. So don't wait. Order Unarmed but Dangerous today. Call 1-800-575-4021 or visit dailybalancewithkim.tv. Call now to receive your DVD copy of Kim Jacobs' seminar on Bridging the Great Divide, a woman's guide to balancing personal, family, and work life. Order your copy today for only $29.95. Call 1-800-575-4021. To order online, visit dailybalancewithkim.tv.
Welcome back to Daily Balance. Most people would look at our next guest and think she has lived a pretty charmed life. After all, she is a mom, a wife, a successful entrepreneur, a certified personal trainer, and has served as Mrs. Colorado and Mrs. North Carolina. But this is a woman with a real tragedy to triumph story, who is now helping others discover their powerful purpose. Please welcome a lady who is just as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside, Victoria Gillowitz. Hey, Victoria. How are you?
Oh, thank you.
It's such a great pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
You are such a beautiful young lady and such an inspiration. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's great to really be able to be here and talk about this subject, especially with someone like Tawana.
Well, you know
Privilege.
what? It's a great honor. She's just a wonderful person. And
amazing.
Did you heard all of her story?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it such an inspiration?
Yeah.
Well, you are equally inspiring.
Oh, thank
because
you.
so much has happened in your life. Tell us a little bit about you and what's happened over the course of the years in your life. Because it wasn't always this way. What you see here is the beautiful package, but this isn't where she started out.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, there are many dark chapters of my life, and I guess we'll just have to do another show and discuss those. But needless to say, I feel that God has molded me into my name.
Okay.
And the name Victoria means conqueror and overcomer. But I'm telling you, what I've learned is that overcomers always start out hopeless.
That's right.
And I used to pray every day that someday God would mold me into my name. I just didn't think it was going to be possible. I was emotionally abused since the age of 2.5. That was hopeless. Plunged into anorexia at the age of 10. Was told that I was hopeless at the age of 16 when I almost died from it, saying that, you know, it's an addiction like anything else and you'll never overcome it. It was hopeless. Being raped in a humiliating way a month after I got out of the hospital. It felt hopeless to run away into a big city at the age of 17, and I had a very awesome God moment I'll tell about in some other show that turned things around for me.
Well, even at one point, if I'm not mistaken, they had put you in a mental institution because you were dealing with the anorexia. Is that what happened?
Yes. Back in the early 80s, they didn't have care facilities for someone with my situation. The doctors were still researching to find out what the heck this eating disorder thing was. And I got put in an adult mental institution. But I'm telling you, that was a turning point for me as well, because I had all of these revenge dreams of like being a cover girl model to get back at all those people who, you know, abused me for being fat and ugly at the little young age. But in that ward, I saw all the pain of the world. Everybody from, you know, the suicidal drug addict to the Vietnam vet who was in shell shock to the little anorexic girl. We were all living in these extreme deficits, but we just had different manifestations or different coping mechanisms. And I decided right there and then that I was going to have to give up the superficial revenge dream and whatever it was that God had planned for me. I wanted to be a person used to set the captives free. So being in a mental institution, not too many people know about that, but that was actually a turning point for me.
72 million people in the United States will learn about this. I mean, this is a lot of viewers watching this show.
The doctors were faulty, that's all.
That's their fault. The doctors were at fault for the situation, is what Victoria is saying. Oh my God. So what was a turning point for you, Victoria? What happened in your life that brought you from anorexia, being obese, to being a beauty pageant queen? Look at you.
Well, let's just say right here, I am not a pageant Barbie.
You look like a doll baby to me.
Oh, thank you. But I didn't get into pageants until I was 30.
Oh, wow.
And I used to joke and say, you know, a grown woman who has a need to wear a crown on her head in public probably needs to go back where I was when I was 16. But to me, it was a means to an end to be able to make an impact and express hope to people who needed to overcome. Back to your question, the turning point for me was, to top it off, I spent 14 years in an abusive alcoholic marriage, just begging God to help me raise these two precious little girls to the best of my ability, pretty much by myself. And I had a paradigm shift. After one violent episode, I was in the basement in the corner on my face praying. And I remember just watching the tears from my nose drip into the carpet quietly. And a still small voice rose up in me because I was ready to give up, not commit suicide, but just give up on any dream, any worth that I had. Right. And I heard this still small voice say, "Remember your name."
Victoria.
And I knew at that point it was a serious juncture of my life. In that moment, I had a choice to become a victim or to become a victor. Now, the victim seemed pretty welcoming because it's easy just to like blame everyone else for your crap and all the situations. And to be a victor is a lot of hard work to the start, to travel upstream. But in the end, is victorious living.
Now, so awesome, awesome. Hence Victoria, Victoria.
Yes.
So it was all in the name for you, huh?
Absolutely.
It was all in the name.
Yeah.
What a difference a name makes, huh? Isn't that awesome? Well, you know what? What is your life like today now that you've become victorious? Victorious Victoria.
Well, I have to say, I am married to the most wonderful man on the entire planet. Well, besides your husband and Tawana's. Well, not besides, but equal to.
Okay.
I call him my Jesus wrapped in skin.
Oh, Lord, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, you're my Jesus
and
wrapped
he's
in
just
skin.
as handsome as I think Jesus is, too.
Oh, wonderful.
And my teenage daughters were adopted by him a long time ago, and we got married, and they are the most incredible redemption of my life, just the most amazing young women of God.
Oh, my goodness.
I've been able to use my platforms to redeem every area of my life. I've been able to help women with eating disorders, minister to women and children coming out of abuse. I've been able to speak to audiences of inner city kids to show them, you know, that we're united in this battle of life. It is not bound to race and social background or whatever, and be able to literally put a crown on their head. And do I have time to tell a story?
You can tell a story, absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead. We want to hear it, don't we?
This is... I just thought of this morning, too, so this is fresh just for you. I didn't have it planned. But I spoke at Jackson Park Ministries, which is a ministry that reaches out to families and kids in the inner city here in Charlotte. And this story, it just totally surmises the whole life of someone who overcomes. And there was a girl sitting in the front row, an African-American girl, and she was just so cold, so dark. And I knew that she probably thought I had nothing to offer her, but she found out that I did. But at the end of it, I asked her to come up on stage, and my crown, which I never wear, I took my crown out of the box, and I placed it on her head. And I lifted her chin, and I spoke love and dignity into her life. And it was just like this healing rain came over her. And she went from, you know, that dark, cold to just this elegant little girl. And she laughed and danced and sang the rest of the afternoon. And I was told she had never done that before. And so I was reminded in Isaiah, it says that we are to provide for those who grieve, and we are to bestow a crown of beauty instead of ashes.
Awesome.
And I realized in that moment that God used all the ashes of my life and gave a literal crown of beauty that I could put on the heads of others to show that their ashes can just all be blown away too, and to give hope to them. Oh, so awesome.
We'll be right back with more from Victoria and Tawana on Daily Balance.
Call now to receive your DVD copy of Kim Jacobs' seminar on Bridging the Great Divide, a woman's guide to balancing personal, family, and work life. Order your copy today for only $29.95. Call 1-800-575-4021. To order online, visit dailybalancewithkim.tv. Order your copy of How to Start and Succeed in the Seminar Business, presented by Les Brown and Kim Jacobs, for only $29.99. This intensive information-packed 2-CD set and workbook will provide the step-by-step processes to start your seminar business and start making money now. Normally $59.99, but today only $29.99. So don't wait. Call 1-800-575-4021 or visit dailybalancewithkim.tv. Call the number on your screen to order your copy of Tawana Williams' book, Unarmed But Dangerous, for only $24.95, plus shipping and handling. Read Tawana's compelling story of perseverance, determination, and triumph. You'll be inspired to tackle the obstacles in your own life after reading this powerful and uplifting message. So don't wait. Order Unarmed But Dangerous today. Call 1-800-575-4021 or visit dailybalancewithkim.tv.
We're back with Tawana Williams and Victoria Gillowitz, two women who have overcome tremendous obstacles to become passionate, successful businesswomen. Welcome once again. We're glad to have you guys. And